What if I told you there was once a civilization so advanced that its technology could rival our own, but then, in an instant, it vanished without a trace? Could it be that Atlantis, the legendary lost city, was not just a myth, but a real place with knowledge far beyond its time? For centuries, people have speculated about Atlantis. Described by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, it was said to be a thriving, technologically superior civilization that mysteriously disappeared beneath the ocean. Some believe it was nothing more than a fable, a warning about the dangers of human arrogance. But others argue that Atlantis was real, and that its technology was so powerful, it was deliberately erased from history. What if they were right? What if Atlantis had technology that was centuries, maybe even millennia, ahead of its time? Some theories suggest the Atlanteans harnessed energy in ways we can't even comprehend today, using massive crystal power grids, advanced transportation, or even forms of communication that defied logic. Others claim that remnants of their knowledge still exist, hidden in ancient ruins around the world. But is there any truth to these claims? Or is this just another historical myth blown out of proportion? In this video, we'll dive deep into the origins of Atlantis, the claims of its lost technology, and the scientific evidence, or lack thereof, behind it. Did an advanced civilization really disappear without a trace? Or is Atlantis nothing more than a legend that refuses to die? To understand the mystery of Atlantis, we have to go back to where it all began: ancient Greece. The first and only detailed account of Atlantis comes from the philosopher Plato, who wrote about it over 2,300 years ago in two of his works, Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis was a powerful civilization that existed around 9,000 years before his time. It was described as an island nation beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. This civilization was said to be incredibly advanced, with towering buildings, grand palaces, and an intricate system of canals. But more importantly, it possessed a level of technology and knowledge that seemed far beyond anything known in the ancient world. Atlantis was also a force to be reckoned with. Plato describes it as a massive naval power, one that waged war against the rest of the known world. But in the end, its own greatness became its downfall. According to the story, Atlantis was destroyed in a single day and night by violent earthquakes and floods, sinking into the ocean and disappearing forever. But was Plato describing a real place, or was Atlantis just a fable? Most historians believe that Plato created the story as a moral lesson, a warning about the dangers of unchecked power and arrogance. They argue that Atlantis was never meant to be taken literally, but instead served as an allegory, much like other myths in Greek storytelling. Yet, despite the skepticism, the legend of Atlantis refuses to die. Over the centuries, countless theories have emerged, claiming that Atlantis was real and that it may have been located in places ranging from the Mediterranean to the Caribbean, even Antarctica. Some even suggest that its disappearance was not a natural disaster, but a deliberate event, meant to bury a civilization that knew too much. So, was Atlantis a real place wiped from history, or just a story that took on a life of its own? And if it was real, did it truly possess advanced technology? If Atlantis really existed, what kind of technology would it have? Could it have been centuries, maybe even millennia, ahead of its time? Many theorists believe so, pointing to descriptions of its infrastructure, energy sources, and even possible flying machines. Let's start with its architecture. Plato described Atlantis as having grand temples, towering buildings, and a complex system of canals that ran through the city. Some researchers believe this suggests the Atlanteans mastered large-scale engineering, possibly using materials and construction techniques far beyond what was available to other ancient civilizations. Could they have used a form of reinforced concrete or an advanced stone-cutting technology that allowed them to build with extreme precision, similar to what we see in ancient sites like Machu Picchu or the pyramids of Egypt? Then, there's the theory of crystal energy. Some believe that the Atlanteans had discovered how to harness energy from massive crystals, using them as power sources. This idea comes from various legends and modern interpretations, suggesting they used these energy sources for lighting, healing, or even advanced communication. While there's no direct evidence of this, ancient cultures across the world, including the Egyptians, Mayans, and Hindus, placed great significance on crystals, believing they had powerful properties. Could this be a remnant of Atlantean knowledge? And then we have one of the most controversial theories: Atlantean flight technology. Some researchers suggest that Atlantis had developed advanced air or even space travel. This claim is based on ancient texts that describe mysterious flying machines, such as the Vimanas in Hindu mythology. Could it be that Atlantis had access to a technology we can't even imagine today? Some fringe theories even propose that Atlanteans were visited by extraterrestrials or were themselves an advanced offshoot of an unknown civilization. Of course, all of this is speculation. No physical evidence of these technologies has ever been found. But believers argue that the sudden disappearance of Atlantis explains why. If such technology ever existed, it was lost along with the civilization itself. So, were the Atlanteans really technological pioneers? Or is this all just myth and fantasy? Let's take a look at the theories that claim Atlantis was not just real, but the missing link to some of history's greatest mysteries. If Atlantis was just a myth, why do so many people believe it was real? Over the years, researchers, historians, and even conspiracy theorists have proposed different ideas suggesting that Atlantis was not only an advanced civilization, but that its knowledge may have influenced cultures around the world. Theory 1. The hyperdiffusion hypothesis. One of the most popular ideas is that Atlantis was the original source of civilization, spreading its knowledge to other ancient cultures. This is known as the hyperdiffusion hypothesis, the belief that a single advanced society influenced multiple civilizations that came after it. Some researchers point to similarities between ancient structures around the world, like the pyramids of Egypt, Mexico, and China, as possible evidence that they were all influenced by a lost, highly advanced civilization. Could Atlantis have been that civilization? Supporters of this theory argue that its people, fleeing their doomed city, could have brought their technology and knowledge to different parts of the world, helping to jumpstart human progress. Theory 2. Atlantis and lost energy technology. Another theory suggests that Atlantis had developed a powerful energy source, one that was lost when the city disappeared. Some claim that the pyramids of Egypt and other megalithic structures were not just tombs or temples, but ancient power stations that harnessed energy in ways we don't fully understand today. This idea is based on the fact that many ancient sites contain high levels of electromagnetic activity. Some believe the Atlanteans had discovered how to use the Earth's natural energy, possibly through large crystal structures, water channels, or even something similar to Tesla's wireless electricity theories. If true, it could explain why ancient civilizations seem to accomplish feats of engineering that modern science still struggles to explain. Theory number 3. The Atlantean space connection. Then, there's the most controversial idea of all, that Atlantis was not just an advanced human civilization, but that it had connections to extraterrestrial beings. Some theorists claim that Atlantis's rapid rise and advanced knowledge could have come from outside influences. possibly an alien race that shared its technology with humanity. This theory is often tied to the idea that ancient structures, such as the Nazca lines in Peru or the precision-cut stones of Pumapunku in Bolivia, could not have been made with primitive tools alone. Instead, some believe they hint at a lost civilization, one that had access to technology we still don't fully understand. So, could Atlantis really have been the missing link in human history? Or are these theories just wishful thinking? Before we jump to conclusions, let's take a look at the scientific evidence, or lack thereof, surrounding Atlantis and its so-called technology. Most historians and archaeologists agree on one thing: there is no solid proof that Atlantis was a real civilization. The only known source of the Atlantis story comes from Plato, and there are no ancient Egyptian, Mesopotamian, or other historical records that mention such a place. If Atlantis had truly been a dominant global power, wouldn't there be more evidence of its existence? One of the biggest problems with the Atlantis theory is the lack of physical evidence. No ruins, artifacts, or writings from Atlantis have ever been found. Many supposed Atlantis sites, such as the Bimini Road in the Bahamas or structures off the coast of Spain, have been studied and determined to be natural formations or unrelated ancient ruins. Then, there's the issue of technology. While it's true that many ancient structures, like the pyramids and megaliths, are impressive, mainstream archaeologists believe they were built using simple but effective techniques, such as ramps, levers, and extensive manpower. The idea that Atlantis had futuristic energy sources, flying machines, or extraterrestrial connections is not supported by any known historical evidence. And what about the idea that Atlantis spread its knowledge to other civilizations? While there are similarities between ancient cultures, most historians believe these were the result of independent development, not a single lost civilization. Just because pyramids exist in both Egypt and Mexico doesn't mean they were built by the same people. It simply shows that pyramid-shaped structures were an effective way to build large monuments. So, if there's no hard evidence, why does the Atlantis myth persist? Some believe it's because people want to believe in lost civilizations and forgotten technologies. The idea that an advanced society was wiped out, taking its secrets with it, is exciting. But until we find real proof, Atlantis and its technology remain nothing more than legend. But even if Atlantis is a myth, its impact on culture is undeniable. Let's take a look at how this lost city has influenced our imagination for centuries. Atlantis may not have left behind ruins or artifacts, but its legend has left a lasting mark on our culture. From ancient times to modern-day pop culture, the idea of a lost civilization with incredible technology continues to capture our imagination. The story of Atlantis has inspired countless books, movies, and TV shows. From Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea to Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire, the idea of an underwater city filled with forgotten technology keeps appearing in fiction. Even in science fiction, Atlantis is often linked to extraterrestrials or ancient advanced knowledge, like in Stargate Atlantis. But it's not just entertainment. Many people still believe Atlantis was real. Over the years, various writers, historians, and even psychics have claimed to have found evidence of the lost city. Some, like Edgar Cayce, believed Atlantis was destroyed by a catastrophe caused by misused energy technology. Others think traces of Atlantean knowledge can be found in ancient Egypt, Mesoamerica, or even deep beneath the ocean. And let's not forget how Atlantis has influenced conspiracy theories. Some claim the city was wiped out to keep its technology hidden from the world. Others believe its people still exist, either underground or in another dimension, waiting for the right time to return. While these ideas may seem far-fetched, they show just how powerful the Atlantis legend has become. So why does the myth of Atlantis endure? Maybe because it speaks to a universal human desire, the idea that there was once a civilization far greater than our own, and that its secrets might still be out there, waiting to be discovered. So, what's the truth about Atlantis? Was it a real civilization with technology far beyond its time, or just a legend that has taken on a life of its own? While many theories suggest Atlantis had advanced knowledge, perhaps even energy sources or flying machines, there's no solid evidence to prove it ever existed. Most historians believe Plato's story was just an allegory, a warning about the dangers of power and corruption. But myths have a way of surviving for a reason. Whether real or not, Atlantis continues to fuel our imagination. And who knows, maybe its secrets are still out there, waiting to be found.